Hey, what's up guys? Tito here with Aloha Android. How you guys doing today? Monday video, and we got a review of the LG Tribute HD. We're going to give you guys the good, the bad, the ugly. I thought I would change up the scenery and just do this outside. Of course, obviously, the sun's beaming in my face, making me squint. My apologies. But yeah, we're going to dive right in, check this out. So let's go ahead and cue that roll and get things started. So what I have with me is the LG Tribute HD. This device is actually available for Boost Mobile, Virginmobile, and I believe Sprint. So you guys can get it on any one of those networks. And you know, it went on sale on Black Friday for a pretty decent price, but I think right now it goes for like $79.99. Could be wrong. It could have went up in price or went down, so who knows. But I think its base price is $79.99. I think some places have it on sale for $49.99, so it's still a pretty good pickup for what you're gonna get with this device. Specs for the device: basically the screen is a 5-inch display. It has resolutions of 720 by 1280. That's 720p, so it's not full HD, but it's HD nonetheless. It's got a pixel density of 294 pixels per inch. It's got an okay bright display, but we'll get more deep into that later in the video. The GPU is the Adreno 304. It's got 16 gigs of onboard storage with 9.93 gigabytes available for like apps, pictures, and videos and stuff like that. It does have 1.5 gigs of RAM, and I believe the chipset is the Snapdragon 212. It's clocked at 1.3 gigahertz. So yeah. Battery size is a 2100 milliamp hour battery. It is removable. You can take it out, and it does have storage expansion. It says up to 32 gigs. However, DJ Knight did comment and say that he was able to put a 64 gig SD card into the Tribute HD, so I guess it could take up to 64 gigs. I don't know. I don't have one, so I really can't tell you guys if it can or can't. Cameras, front cameras is 5 megapixel, rear camera is 8 megapixel. They both shoot video in 720p, so you guys will be able to shoot video in basic HD and not in full HD, but still, it's pretty good. The cameras do well with low lighting as far as capturing images. However, with low light shots, there is a lot of noise in the background. So you guys want to know, you guys can check out the camera demos I did to kind of get some sort of idea of what the cameras would be like if you were to use the Tribute HD. So with the specs out of the way, let's talk a little bit about the build quality of this device. It's actually made of plastic, right? You know, most people know that. So it's not, to some people it's not going to be premium fielding, but that's okay. You know, it doesn't feel, to me, you know, I wrote a review about it on Blogger, and my opinions about it still kind of feels the same. It does, in a way, kind of feel a little toyish. And that's not because of the build quality being plastic or anything like that. It's because of how light this device is. This device is super light. Almost as if, like, if I drop it, it's going to get, not damaged, but it could probably survive an impact. And the reason why I say that is because if there's more weight added onto this, and that means that the fall is going to be a little bit more faster hitting the ground. With weight to it, the impact will be bigger. So lighter, in a way, kind of is a good thing, because it should be able to survive light drops. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that it's not going to crack or anything like that, but the lightness of it is something you will recognize right out the box. And it could be a make or break for some people. Some people love their phones heavy, and some people love their phones light. It's pretty subjective when it comes to the build quality of a device and its weight. But I'm just throwing it out there that it's pretty light. So anyhow, LG opted for the basics. So you have your power button on the right, your volume rockers on the left. On the bottom, you have your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack and micro USB charging port, data sync area, as well as a microphone. Top side, you have a noise canceling mic, and on the back, you have your speaker at the bottom. You have your LED flash and your 8 megapixel camera on the back, and then on the front side, you have your 5 megapixel front facing shooter and proximity sensor, as well as your earpiece for listening to phone calls. So, you know, it's got this nice little, I guess, like you guys can say, like a side curve to just, you know, for it to actually fit comfortably in the hand. It is a candy bar slab foam, but if you guys notice, the back is kind of rounded, and that just makes for a good, comfortable grip. Now, one thing I will say is that the back battery cover is slick as hell. It's really slick, so if you have like sweaty hands, sweaty palms, expect this to fly. I wouldn't use this to convey my thought and try to like point at something, because you could end up just tossing the phone over your shoulder, and yeah, that's not a good thing. Um, so that's pretty much all I can say about the build. I mean, well, this little chrome accent over here, or metal accent over here is actually plastic. It's just, to mimic chrome. All in all, I gotta say, for the build quality, I give it basically a 4 out of 5. I gotta say that much. It's really nice. There are some points to it where I feel like it'll be vulnerable to damage if you do drop it, and I think that's just what kind of knocks off a point, in my opinion. But the feel, the look, the style of it, it's refreshing. It's something, that I think is a little snazzy to it. And this is like, yeah, as far as build wise, pretty awesomely built phone. So let me go here to my points. I actually took points, basically, well, not points, but jotted down some areas to focus on. So let's talk about the audio of this device. Okay, the audio of this smartphone, like I said, to some people, it does kind of sound like it's a walkie-talkie from the back speaker when you're on a speakerphone call. The audio from the earpiece is not bad at all. It's actually, I can hear people on my phone calls. They can hear me as well through the microphone, but I can hear them very clearly. And it may not be HD clear, but it's clear enough to where I'm not, like hearing any type of distortions or anything like that through the top earpiece speaker when you're on a phone call. It's on the bottom speaker, is that when I'm in a speakerphone call, it almost sometimes sounds like a walkie-talkie. And that, to me, is kind of like bad. Now, it could possibly be that I have a defective device, because there's some other things I noticed about here that may not be something that you guys are experiencing, but nonetheless, I'm going to tell you guys in this review. So, but yeah, the speaker does kind of sound walkie-talkie-ish, and like I said, it could be a defective device that I have. I don't know. I may end up just grabbing another Tribute HD just to kind of find out, and we'll go from there. But other than that, listening to music is actually pretty cool. Connections with earbuds, they're all great through the 3.5mm headphone jack. I haven't had any issues where, like, if you plug in like earbuds, sometimes only one side you'll hear something, and that's just because it's not making a great connection on the inside. You got to kind of like twist it just to kind of get that full connection, so both earbuds or both sides of your headphones is actually blasting out music. With this, all my headphones fit just fine, and of course it's a new device, so who knows, maybe after some time of like plugging earbuds in and out, eventually it may just start to loosen up a little bit in there. I don't know, but so yeah. But I also do have like earbuds that are Bluetooth connected, and the Bluetooth signal is actually pretty strong. I haven't had any issues where it dropped just from being like 10-15 feet away from the device listening to music, and there's not any instances where like during Bluetooth play that the audio starts to become distorted because the signal is like weakening and then strengthening, just kind of having this little flip-flop effect. I don't know if you guys ever experienced that with Bluetooth headphones or earbuds, but sometimes that happens. I haven't had that with this, so it's maintained a good, strong connection with my earbuds or just with anything that I have Bluetooth to it as far as audio output. It's done great. So audio, in my book, basically a clear 5. Yes, I know that the speaker sounds like a walkie-talkie, but like I said, my device could be defective, so I really can't knock it down a point if other people are not having that same issue. Okay, so we pretty much talked about audio. Let's see, display. Let's talk about the display. Like I said, I have all this stuff put down here so I can basically remember and not try to leave anything out. The display is actually pretty good, but the problem and with this, and as well as the X Power, they have the similar issues that I find to be sometimes just slightly annoying, but not anything really bad. The problems that I'm having with it is that when you're outside in this area such as this, if I click the power button, like on my J7, you'd be able to see the screen right now, no problems. With this one, I know you guys can't see anything, and that's just because the display brightness, being with outdoor lighting, is not always the best, and right now it's at 67%. You guys can't even see it. Now it's at 100%, and I'm sure you guys can kind of see it now. I just put it up to 100%, and now if I put it closer, you guys will be able to, but like from like right here, I've seen devices that had brighter displays, so you guys can see out in sunlight or whatever, and that could be a make or break for some people, because some people they don't want to have to put their battery up to 100%, not battery, but their brightness, sorry, their brightness up to 100% just to visibly see the screen. Uh, of course, that's a battery killer. It's going to drain the crap out of your battery, and this does not have a decent sized battery. 2100 milliamps, you kill it really quick, especially if you have your brightness up at 100%. So that could be a make or break for a lot of people. The display itself, you gotta get really close. I have it on 50% right now, and that's about as visible as it's going to get at 50% brightness. So that's going to be a tough issue for some folks. As far as the brightness out the way, the display itself is quite beautiful looking. Okay, yes, it's not super AMOLED. It's not going to have like deep blacks and very vibrant colors, but the colors on this display is not washed out. It does not look like it's been drawn on by watercolors or anything like that. It's actually quite nice, and it does kind of do well as far as colors and texture. Whatever you have as your wallpaper, whatever you're viewing is going to be nice and clear. There's not this pixelation effect that I've seen on the devices like the Tribute 5 has, like this pixel effect on everything. You can see the pixels, and it can be annoying. Maybe for me, maybe I'm just a total geek about things, and I can see those little things, and it just kind of irks me a little bit. And some people may not actually really care, but if you are one that's like me that can see these things, you're not going to see the pixelation really on this device. This device actually kind of does well as far as keeping things kind of like smooth and interconnected, and you're not going to have the dotted effect or none of that stuff really kind of shine. You won't really see that. I mean, it's there. Trust me, if you really dig deep enough with your eyes to look at the display, I'm pretty sure you'll find the pixels and you'll be able to see the dotted effect. But on glancing at it, it's not present as if, like, when you glance at the Tribute 5, you can see it just by glancing at it. And you don't have that. So the display, thumbs up on that one. I give it basically a 4 out of 5, just because of the brightness, not being able to push through with the sunlight. Indoor, you're not going to have any issues as far as looking at the display. You can even drop it all the way down to 0 brightness and still see your display. Of course, it'll be a little shadowy, a little dark, but nonetheless, you'll still be able to see it indoors. So that's something that you guys might want to keep in mind. Performance with this device is actually, it's a hit or miss. Now, I'll tell you guys why. Now, with the Snapdragon 212 processor, and it being a quad-core processor clocked at 1.3 gigahertz, there's been people that have told me that, there's, as far as speed of opening apps and stuff like that, it's pretty much on par with the X-Power. And I've been playing around with this and the X-Power back and forth, and I gotta disagree, And it's not by like a slight margin that the X-Power is faster. It's by a pretty good margin that the X-Power is faster. But obviously the X-Power is going to be faster with the MediaTek 6755 octa-core processor. You're going to get double the speeds. So, but that's not saying that this thing is sluggish or slow. No, not at all. But I say it's a hit or miss, and this is something that's been kind of frustrating with me. Maybe with a software update from LG, it may fix the issue that I'm having with my Trivia HD, because I'm experiencing memory leak, which is also causing the performance to pretty much kind of like be like a hit or miss. Like on a good time, it's fast, it's snappy, it does what I need it to do. If you want to game on this, I'll tell you guys right now, gaming, you're not going to get the best experience out of it. I wouldn't do it. Okay, so if you're a heavy gamer, this device is not for you. This device handles basic things like Facebook and YouTube and Google Play Music and Spotify. Basic media stuff, basic social media stuff, just basic all-out phone calls, text messages, chat messaging and whatnot. It'll handle it very well. But if you're going to play like heavy intensive graphical games, forget it. You're not going to like it. It is going to lag, stutter as hell. I couldn't even get Mortal Kombat X to really play smoothly on this device. Okay, there was a lot of frame drops, a lot of lag, a lot of freezing, and of course, a bunch of app crashing. So I just said, forget it, I'm not playing games on this device, which I'm not really much of a big gamer anyways. So this is not a big breaker for me, but I know a lot of people love to play their games, so I know this might be a deal breaker for you guys. So performance-wise, this device does okay. With the memory leak, it kind of caused it to get a little wonky from time to time. Sometimes trying to load up something takes forever because there's a lot of apps in background sucking up RAM, and basically RAM is what's used for an application to function and run at the forefront. So every time you open an app, and it opens to the display, it's using RAM. But when you have all your RAM tied up with other apps running rogue in the background, it's going to cause it to slow down. So maybe a good system update that will fix that issue from LG will probably make it run even faster. So I'm not really going to kind of score this right now as far as performance. I'm going to tell you my performance experience with this device, but I can't really score it because a simple system update could actually fix that issue, and then the device would behave differently. So we'll leave that for a future review. We'll come back to performance after this thing has gotten at least 1 or 2 updates, and then we'll talk about that. But performance so far right now is a hit or miss. That's all I'm going to say on that. Battery on this, battery is okay. I mean, if you're using applications and other things like that, you will kill the 2100 milliamp hour battery pretty quick. Okay, I've seen this thing go maybe about on-screen time 2 hours, so that's probably not the best. If I'm using it sparingly, basically, I could probably get about 6 hours on it. And that's just like Facebooking here and there, Snapchat here and there, and the phone kind of being put down. Yeah, I can make it stretch 6 hours. Of course, not a big issue to me because I do have a couple of power banks that I carry on me if I go out anywhere else. So I mean, if I kill this thing while I'm out and about, running errands or doing something with the family, I got power banks to recharge it back up. It does not have quick charge technology, I'll tell you guys that much right now, so it is going to have that, average standard charging, which, of course, some people that are so used to quick charging are going to dislike. Other people that, haven't really had a device with quick charge is not really going to care about. So, but the power on this thing, yeah. Right now, basically I was like using it since yesterday. Yesterday I had it on the charger to get off yesterday, and right now it's down to 32%, so I'll give you guys a figurative idea. And this is also, going to bed and leaving the phone, not on the charger, but just on my desk with the screen off. So let's take a look at the battery here. Battery usage. Okay, so usage on the battery, we got about 12 hours and 6 minutes. Estimated time remaining is 4 hours and 49 minutes. My screen on time is 2 hours and 36 seconds with a compute power use of 220 milliamps. So like I said, not the best battery life. If you're a person that's going to be on social media a lot, this battery is going to die fast. But that's what you're going to get with a 2100 milliamp hour battery. Plus, also, I think, again, it goes back to that whole issue with a memory leak and whatnot. With a good software update, it could fix all those issues. I think that, the battery would last longer if everything was pretty much like, in line. I think that's my beef with the LG Tribute HD. I mean, it's a great device. Would I recommend it to anyone out there that was looking for a nice budget device? You bet your bottom dollar I would. I would say, yeah, grab this. This is pretty good. If you have the LG Tribute 5, is this an upgrade from it? Yes, it is. It definitely is. I mean, you get twice the storage, have a little bit more of RAM, it's 1.5, whereas the Tribute 5, I think, only has 1 gig of RAM. So you're getting an extra 500 megabytes of RAM. So that's always helpful. So yeah, definitely would recommend this. It's just I feel like that this is one of those things that was like it was meant to be a good solid device, but it just is not really hitting the mark. It's there, it's almost there, but it's still got a ways to go. And I think with a good couple of software updates by LG, it could correct all the issues that this device has. So that's pretty much my take on the Trivia HD. As far as software, I think the software is fine. Marshmallow is handling great on here. Do I think it'll get 7.0 nougats? It could. LG has surprised people by updating even the most weirdest devices that you think would not get a software update. So, it could get a software update. Do I see it happening anytime soon? No, I don't. Honestly, don't. But I do think for what the Tribute HD is right now, it's a pretty solid device. It's got a few, well, get out of here, fly. It's got a few quirks it needs to work out. Like I said, with a good software update, we'll actually repair it. And probably make this thing run like a champ. So right now, my scoring for this device is 8 out of 10. Only for some few things that I think that could be fixed by a software update. Other than that, this is a good solid device. Definitely Aloha Android approved. I said something cheesy like that. So anyhow, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, if I touched base with a lot of things that was very helpful, you guys can let me know by smashing that like button at the bottom to let me know. Click the links on the screen to subscribe to my channel and also check out the most recent video. And if I missed anything, please feel free to comment in the comment section of this video your experiences. If you own the device, let us know what your experience is. Definitely, and there will be future reviews as things change with this device, but so far right now, yes, definitely a device worth grabbing and adding into your catalog. So thanks for checking out my review video. I know it's a little bit different than everybody else's, but thanks for checking it out. Yeah, so as always, Allah.